Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's give a coronation update.
The king and queen are out on the balcony, greeted by the crowd.
Together, we may discover the ways of gentleness and be led into the paths of peace.
God save the king!
God Save the King, and also Kate Save Fitzy and Whipper. We've stumbled our way through this morning knowing that you are the true representative of the royal family here in the studio.
Oh, that is such a high honour.
Yeah, it is.
I'm
It's
so
really big.
appreciative. Thank you so much. Oh, look, I don't know if you have missed it, but King Charles III was crowned on Saturday evening, our time. I was watching the coronation, not in its entirety, from a hotel room. I popped out for a bowl of pasta.
Okay, that's interesting.
Then hurried the family from the table to get back to the TV.
Did you take the crowns that you paid $14.99 from the reject shop?
And I bought 3 of them. I'm
Yes.
thinking of putting them back in the plastic and taking them back, but I don't think $2 shops tend to do refunds.
No.
$14 at a $2 shop. I saw you forced May to wear one in front of the TV. Did she want to wear that or not?
She
Put
wanted,
it on now.
She wanted to wear the crown a lot more than Chevy did.
Okay,
Can I just quickly say, 7:45 Saturday night, the group chat, Kate kicks it off. This was Kate. Anyone watching? Question mark. Everyone is dressed appallingly. And then Key's written back, I'm just shocked by how quickly Harry has gone bald. And then Tom said, no, that's Koshy.
You made me laugh out loud.
I missed the group chat. I was out and about, so I missed the whole coronation.
Why were you not involved? What was more important than the king being crowned?
35th birthday party.
Yeah, I
that
thought
was
you were really
going
excited.
on.
You were telling us that you were going to watch it.
How am I meant to watch it all? I mean, it was on the TV in the house because it was a house party that I was at. But
Yeah, house party. I mean, how old are you? 20?
Yeah, I loved it. We're playing spin the bottle and everything.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
Well, you did. Can I please go back to the text messages, though, quickly? Because, Fitzy, you made me laugh as well, because I'm, like, all coronation vibed up. And then Fitzy drops a football question. I was like, oh, bugger off.
Get out of here.
You are actually not allowed to be involved.
I said, do you reckon they're going to pick up Aaron Norton in the second half? And Kate was like, what are you talking about?
I don't even know who Aaron Norton is. No disrespect to him, of course. Look, let's go through a few of the formalities
Sure.
before we get to what I really did think about it. You touched on it then, Fitzy. Of course, we saw Camilla become the queen.
May thy servant Camilla, who wears this crown, be filled by thine abundant grace and with all princely virtues. Reign in her heart, O King of love, that being certain of thy protection, she may be crowned with thy gracious favour, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
How good is Monty Python? They are still dominating.
I reckon she would even be listening to that Camilla going, oh, this is a bit much, isn't it?
No, I don't know. You couldn't tell if she was enjoying it or not, because I've never seen a more miserable face on the television. And all I could think about, and I'm not saying I agree, but all of the people, maybe middle-aged and older women, watching the TV thinking, that should be Princess Diana.
Well, yeah, I know.
Who's that woman, you know? I mean, I think there are a lot of people who have come around, but for a very long time, she was the other woman.
Well, that was reports as why Elton John wasn't playing.
Is that right?
Due to his commitment to his friend Diana.
Okay, and then of course William had to get up. All I could think about was poor Harry sitting in the third row, and he pledged allegiance to the king.
I, William, Prince of Wales, pledge my loyalty to you, and faith and truth I will bear unto you, as your liege man of life and limb. So help me God.
Well done.
Were there any cameras following Harry separately for the next doco part to...
Probably. He probably had his own
Netflix series?
Own little entourage in there.
Geez, you know what? And there wasn't... Like, I went on to news.com.au and the Maily Dale, and, geez, there wasn't any clickbait stories at all. Like, some of the... Like, I was really disappointed.
What headlines did you get?
There was 4 pages of clickbait, and there was talk that Harry stopped singing God Save the King at one stage, and they're going, oh, he's done that on purpose.
He's done that. The whole world is watching. He's trying to make a point.
Adam Hilsey was there, and he said you couldn't go to the toilet 6 hours before they could go to the toilet. So it was a 600-metre walk to get out of the Abbey and go to the local toilets.
Yeah, and they had to be seated by 6 p.m. our time, and it didn't really rev up until about 8 p.m. So there were 2 hours basically of listening to a choir and just...
While you needed to wait.
And just waiting. I was most nervous, though. The broadcast I was watching, and I started to panic. It was on the WhatsApp feed. Mm. The broadcasters, the journos, were saying Kate and William are running late because all I wanted to see was her, and I wanted to see Charlotte. They turned up in matching tiaras. It was all delightful. But for a long time then, I'm thinking that King Charles is sitting out in the carriage waiting for Kate and William to arrive. But then it turns out they were in the procession.
Oh, gotcha.
And everyone had got it wrong.
I thought he was just buying time doing Wordle or something in the carriage.
Yeah, something like that. Look, apart from the clickbait stuff and a lot of Meghan chat and Harry chat, and he's left out and do you feel sorry for him kind of thing, there were a few interesting highlights, little tidbits that they which I don't think you're looking at me with.
What are your tidbits?
I don't even. I'm not even.
Tidbits?
I always say tidbits.
Okay.
Isn't it tidbit? It could be tidbit or tidbit.
Anyway, go through your tidbits.
Okay. It's so boring. The cross of the orb is bent off centre, having been dropped by a thief in 1671.
Wow. Okay.
And that's it, guys. Do you know? I hate to say it, and I am a big fan.
What?
I was a little bit disappointed, and all I was really that keen on was a lot of the body language stuff. Camilla was so petrified that the crown had ruined her do. I don't know if anyone else noticed that. She was, because King Charles didn't touch the crown after it had been put on his head. Whereas it went on to Camilla. Thankfully, that crowning was brief because the king thing took a long time. That's right. And she was just trying to wave her hair in under the crown. And I also noticed that Prince Charles looked incredibly uncomfortable in his robe. They put this big kind of gold robe on with a gold belt.
Jewels, and he's holding swords.
Yeah, he had to put the sword on for a minute, and then he had to give it back.
The crown jewels.
Oh my gosh! I mean, not everyone got into it as well. I mean, who did get into it, and this was really touching. But did you hear that there was a soccer team from Ireland playing a soccer team from Scotland, and you would think that those two countries wouldn't be into the coronation at all, but they sung a beautiful song.
To celebrate the coronation.
To celebrate the coronation. You've got to listen really, really carefully, but have a listen to this.
What are they saying? Something
they're just saying we love the coronation.
No,
and
they're not.
At last. They're saying,
at last.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
They are showing the coronation at last.
So not... Yeah, right, okay, because I was trying to work that out.
Yeah, it was a bit like a musical. Someone did say to me it's like King Charles III musical. And I said, they're in church, for goodness sake. You're not picking up what they're trying to put down.
Yeah, Kate, it continues this morning.
The concert's been massive.
The concert has been unbelievable. Yes. Paloma Faith, Ollie Murs.
Yeah, let's have a listen to a bit of Lionel Richie. He was there. No,
sorry.
Stay out of it, mate. I don't know if you're serious or you're leading into a joke.
There's not one part.
All night long. You can't go past all night long. I know a lot of you probably would have been watching the Rabbitohs Saturday night, but there was also something else on.
The king and queen are out on the balcony, greeted by the crowd.
Together, we may discover the ways of gentleness and be led into the paths of peace.
God save the king!
What an absolute highlight of a weekend for you, Fitzy, in particular.
Gosh. I didn't know you were such a fan, and you told us on Friday that you actually wrote to Prince Charles, or was it William one time?
I've met Prince Charles, the King.
I have met the King.
What
happened then?
He was a prince many years ago. I'll save that story for another time.
Good idea.
No, I went to the Royal Command performance with someone. I was their date or their plus one, and then I met the then Prince Charles at interval backstage with a lot of other artists.
Did you do like a bra boys handshake, or what did you go in with? Did you go in with the strength and honour and that kind of stuff?
Did you curtsy?
I got so nervous I didn't know what to do because before I knew it, he was upon us, and I thought, I haven't done a little, research of what I just did the bob thing that. So you couldn't really catch me out for not curtsying, but did I actually curtsy?
Right, half a curtsy.
Yeah. Good thinking.
So, it was a big weekend, whether you're into it or not. I have to say I was a little bit disappointed. It did take a while to ramp up. I thought there were some people appallingly dressed. And
who was worse dressed?
Looking miserable. But unnamed people, I think, which I just found myself thinking, oh my goodness, it's a big day.
Yeah, come on.
You could have brushed your hair.
What about the poor bloke that was there with the grey hair and the moustache? Tommy, you saw him as well, and everyone thought that he was
That was Camilla.
No.
Oh, that's not fair. But quite accurate.
Sorry.
No, everyone thought he was in disguise. Everyone's going, is that Megan in disguise? But then everyone was making jokes about it, and then they found out it was an actual guy who's a composer in his 80s.
Oh. Awesome. Well, Megan certainly wasn't there, and Harry, poor old Harry, he flew out and was on a plane back to LA before the King and Queen were having their official portraits. I think they said he was there for 28 hours and 42 minutes.
So no after party or anything for Harry?
Absolutely not. MDG, you might know this. Was there a spare seat beside Harry?
There was not a spare seat.
Okay, there were reports that there was an empty seat.
Right, deliberately left.
Yeah,
It's like the Oscars, they get a crowd filler to just come in and just sit there to look
something
empty.
like that. The celebrations continue, of course. Though this morning, 5 o'clock our time at Windsor Castle, there was the Coronation concert, and of course Will had to take the stage. This is him here.
Pa, we are all so proud of you. Your service inspires us. And tonight, we celebrate you too. I commit myself to serve you all. King, country, and Commonwealth. God save the King.
They celebrated you too, and they come out.
I thought that was an introduction. We also heard from Katy Perry. There was a video that's gone viral of her trying to find her seat. And Fitzy, you said there was a rumour that she actually stayed at Windsor Castle. She was a guest there.
Yeah, well, she was up on stage saying, "I'm just staying behind us there." She said, "No big deal, but I'm just staying here behind us with her mum." She brought her mum over as her date.
That's what I was saying, Fitz, when we were talking about whether Katy Perry would have been paid for that gig. I said, you do a deal. And say, all right, yeah, sure, hand over Windsor for a week and I'll do your concert.
What? To have her 50th or something?
I have a feeling she doesn't have that kind of bargaining power.
Katy Perry,
I know she's massive.
You love Raw.
Do you know what I was really disappointed with? Charlotte and George were there, William and Kate's kids. Louis wasn't allowed to go because it was too late. Do you remember the nights that you would have at RSL clubs or down the footy club?
Yeah, falling asleep under the table.
Under the table, eating lollies, going through the vending machine.
Yeah, you've got to bend the rules.
Louis wasn't allowed to go to the concert because it was too late.
Oh, but who is saying that? Have you said Louis was so entertaining, not only in the church, or Westminster Abbey, and also on the balcony. I mean, you tune in just for him, even if you're not into the Royals. And it's so nice to see that regardless of whether you're Royal or not, if you've got a kid of that age, he's a little boy, he's just pointing at the planes and causing a ruckus.
Well, this is the greatest. I think the greatest tweet from the weekend was there was a beautiful photo of Louis pointing. He had Charlotte and he was whispering into Charlotte's ear and he was pointing up to somewhere, and someone tweeted, "See that guy right there? He literally cannot sweat."
Was he there? No, he wasn't there.
He was there.
Andrew was there.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, he can't sweat.
Didn't get. Oh, that's right. Was that part
that's
of
one
the
of his defence?
And the controversy with Andrew is that he wore, I think he wore some of his
royal
brothers.
colours?
No, some of his brothers Charles's robes, old robes, as part of the tradition.
It's not dress ups, mate. You don't go to the box and drag anything out.
Do you bring Andrew along at all?
Well, I know, especially when they've shunned Harry in the way that they have, but then Andrew is alongside of them. We also heard from Lionel Richie singing the classics. This is at the concert this morning outside Windsor Castle.
Well, Do you know what? Growing up in Australia, when I think the Royals, I think Lionel Richie.
It doesn't make sense, really, does it? He's had a big couple of weeks with his daughter's wedding, and then up your alley, Whipper, a bit of Andre Bocelli.
Have a listen.
It's more like it.
Just get on the mic. There's a bit of... Wow. Can I...
Don't talk over Andre.
Sorry, amazing. Can I be disappointed with Andre Bocelli? Needed a backup singer with him.
No, he didn't, mate.
Yeah, there was someone else there singing with him.
Someone alongside, maybe helping him out. Could have been a minder.
He's obviously struggling.
He's not. That would have been when the King said, finally, we got some quality on stage, guys. Good effort. I can go home now.
Do you know what?
Save the King.
We'll only ever see one of those coronations in our lifetime.
I don't know about that.
I just want to say to myself, thank God for that.
Hey, can I ask a question? And I don't want to.
God save myself.
What do you mean? Well, you don't think you'll be alive when the King dies? He's 70. Let's say he lasts another 20. You'll be 60. We got another one. You got another one more in your run.
So we've got one more, haven't we? And then there's a big stretch between William and George.
Absolutely. Now, I do have a little update for you, Whip. Last week we spoke about the fact that I had attempted to get Prince William to a panto when I was over there in my home and away days. And you were wondering, or you actually said you will not quit radio until you find out whether Prince William was a home and away fan.
It's going to be my ultimate craft and legacy.
A very dear friend of mine, Deborah Lawrence, who played Pippa on Home and Away, my mum for many years. You've just seen her in the jungle. Yeah, you've seen her in the jungle. She was wonderful. She actually sent me a text message. She must listen to the show or watch the videos. She says to me, darling girl, how much are we enjoying the Coronation? So this is at 10 to 7 on Saturday night. Please tell your radio colleagues that Will and Kate definitely know who you are. I met Kate briefly in Christchurch during a walkabout, and she absolutely knew who I was. So she'd also know who you are.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Did she introduce herself as Pippa from Home and Away?
I doubt it.
She must have.
I doubt it very much.
Hi, how are you? I'm so-and-so. No. You might know me. Pippa from Home and Away.
All I know is she did rave about Kate Middleton and said she was lovely.
I thought in that text message you meant she played Pippa Middleton in some kind of reenactment. No. I've had a look at a photo and we've probably got that wrong.
Does Camilla and King Charles treat it like a wedding night afterwards?
What do you mean? It is.
Do you reckon
I don't think there's a
get into
like
it?
A concert.
I don't think they go to Coronation Corner and get it on.
No, it's the first time he can say, "Do you want to make love to the King?" And he could yell out, "Who's the King?"
Oh my gosh!
Do you reckon that happens?
Why do you always have to take it to kind of that area? Show a little bit of respect.
Because I know that's what you want to know. But you're trying to act like a lady.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.